in 1942, Japan and Germany agreed how they would divide Asia. In short, the Yenisei River, which runs north of Mongolia, would divide Russia. Then the divide would run along the border of China and Afghanistan, and finally Persia and British India. So this meant that Central Asia, where I am now, would be under German control. This agreement, however, caused a fair few problems, mainly because neither side was willing to cross the line. So the German Navy was angry because they could no longer operate in the Indian Ocean, and the Japanese had to cancel the planned attack on Madagascar. Plus, nations like Kyrgyzstan, where I am now and where they are celebrating Victory Day, sort of lay in a dubious area, so Hitler didn't make any grand plans in the region. Rosenberg did set up a national committee for Turkestan, i.e. Central Asia, but it was soon cancelled. However, many Turkic and Central Asian people who were anti-communist or just wanted to break free from the USSR did try to help the Nazis in their fight against the Soviets. One of the early collaborators was a man named Mustafa Shokai. Now, he was a Kazakh who had fled Soviet Union decades earlier, but he became disillusioned with the Nazis very quickly. Because he was sent to recruit POWs largely, he saw that they were being treated poorly by the Nazis, so he soon gave up helping. The Nazis, however, ignore the storm by the way, managed to find a new leader in a man named Veli Kayan. Now, according to one of his soldiers anyway, he styled himself as a Khan and was convinced of German victory. And he was successful in recruiting about 16,000 men into the new Turkmen Legion. Now, he had plans on creating a large Turkestan nation, whereas Rosenberg had sort of plans on turning Central Asia into a major cotton producer for the Nazi Empire. However, Hitler still didn't want to garrison any German troops in the region, so he didn't have any grand plans himself. Plus, he sort of distrusted the Legion, so he sent them over to the Western Front. But on the Western Front, they saw very little action, as opposed to, say, other Soviet collaborators like the Cossacks or the people from the Caucasus. And, of course, once the war was over, they were captured by the British, and most of them were deported to the Soviet Union, where the majority of them were executed.